Alright, what's going on guys? Gino checking back here for another video today. I know it's been a while since I have been really busy with the edits on my super informative videos, but I figured I'd make a video in between talking about a topic that is quite misunderstood by a lot of people, and quite often in very serious athletes as well. The people that always focus on strength think that they do not have to focus on hypertrophy training because they only want to get stronger and not bigger or more muscular in that particular. And the people who always focus on aesthetics always think that they don't need to include any strength training or make progression on the strength scheme of the rep ranges because they only care about the aesthetics, you know, the way they look, and they think that, you know, they don't need to focus on strength training since that doesn't necessarily promote, you know, hypertrophy training, which causes bigger muscles in general. Now, while it is broadly seen as, you know, strength here and aesthetics here and no particular midway, it can actually benefit both sides of the party if they include both trainings into one certain style of training. Now, like I said, the people who focus on strength don't really include any hypertrophy training, you know, generally speaking, while they fail to realize that a bigger muscle will be a stronger muscle over time, since they will be more able to handle more load eventually, you know, over time. That is the same principle as progressive overload. The more weight you put on the bar, the bigger the muscle will get. And while not including any hypertrophy training, that could actually potentially, you know, inhibit the progress that they can make on their strength training, since they don't really include any hypertrophy training. And as we speak about progressive overload, the same actually applies to the group who only focus on aesthetics, is that, you know, with progressive overload, a stronger muscle will be a bigger muscle over time, since muscles require a bigger stimulus over time, and that can greatly be achieved by adding more weight to the bar or more load to the bar eventually. So by focusing on both sides of the party, you can actually benefit from each other. Now, I'd like to shine a light on this study by Dr. Brad Schoenfeld, from which the goal was to determine the differences between a group who performed high load resistance training and a group who performed low load resistance training, to conclude what the effects were on muscle strength and hypertrophy. Now, in conclusion, both high load and low load training to failure, you know, which obviously differs in the rep range since high load equals lower reps and low load equals higher reps, can elicit significant increases in muscle hypertrophy among well-trained young men, while high load training did show to be superior for maximizing strength adaptations. So while coming to the fact that both high load training and low load training are optimal for muscle gain, it goes hand in hand with the term progressive overload, since, like I said, in order to grow your muscles they need a bigger stimulus, and that is well achieved by increasing the load on the bar. You can obviously apply progressive overload by adding reps or decreasing rest time in that particular, but that's not quite optimal if you look at it, since it's harder to achieve and can actually cost you a lot of time, being that it's more time efficient to add weight to the bar since it's a bit more easy to apply. Now, of course, if you really only care about strength training or powerlifting in that particular, then by all means, you know, keep doing what you're doing. The main reason I wanted to make this video is because I wanted to shine a light on the positive effects of applying both variants to your training, you know, if your goal is either to gain strength or to gain muscle, since both really complement each other very well. Now, this style of training is something that I like to call power building, which basically means that you have a style of powerlifting in your training and quote-unquote bodybuilding or hypertrophy training in your training, you know, in the same kind of training routine. Now, the way I like to approach this myself is by applying powerlifting rep ranges to my compounds, so I really focus on increasing my strength on the compounds. Now, for my bench press, for example, I would perform, let's say, 5 sets of 3 reps and really focus on giving it my all, taking 3 to 5 minutes of rest in order to fully recover from the set and give the set my all to increase my strength on that given exercise. And then for the rest of the exercises, say for a incline dumbbell press, I would perform generally 10 to 15 reps, you know, in the hypertrophy rep range in order to stimulate hypertrophy on my chest in order to make it grow. So those two really complement each other, since I will increase my strength through the bench press and then increase my muscle mass due to the hypertrophy rep ranges on all the different exercises. And by increasing my strength on the bench press, by training for strength obviously, that will have a carryover to all the other exercises that I do in the hypertrophy rep range, since a stronger muscle will be a bigger muscle over time if you include both variants into your training. And the same goes obviously for legs and for back, arms or whatever. You know, you have to give a bigger stimulus to your muscles in order to make them grow optimally and, you know, time efficient. So for the strength group, if you focus on hypertrophy training as well, you will be able to handle more load over time. And for the aesthetics group, you know, who only focus on aesthetics, adding weight to the bar will cause progressive overload. And as we now know, a bigger stimulus over time is required for a muscle to grow. So by applying both variants to your training, you will make optimal progress towards your goal. Alright, and that is all for this video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to smash the like button, because it really helps out the channel grow. Comment down below, subscribe to the channel for so much more content coming really soon. I'm out, guys, and peace out. See you in the next one.